Let's take you straight to the Ministry of Information, where there's a minister's news briefing going on currently regarding the deployment of security personnel to the Volta region.
We also notice a member of parliament, the Honorable T. Hammond, MP for Adanse Asokwa, who I think last week in parliament responded to questions from the media about if, as was being reported by the Volta regional chairman and some other persons, this deployment had anything to do with registration, what would be the import? And he also responded to those questions. And we notice an attempt to suggest that his response to those questions amounts to the government view on it. Of these things put together, it is important to update the country. This is not the first time that these deployments have been mentioned, but it is important to update the country on why these deployments, when it started, where else it's going on, and if indeed it is an attack on the Volta region, an ethno-tribal agenda, and has got anything specific to do with our colleagues from the Volta region. I want to invite the Honorable Minister responsible for Defense, under whose jurisdiction this deployment is partly taking place, because there are other security agencies that are involved, part of it under his jurisdiction, to join us and give us this update, after which government will make some comments. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Kojo. Thank you very much. I hope that my voice is audible enough to get your attention. If it's not, I may have to find a way of removing the mask. Just to also state that COVID is real. Please, if for some reason you have to touch your face, make sure that you disinfect your hand thoroughly, or wash your hand before you touch your face. For whatever reason, if you have to touch your face, please disinfect your hand or wash it thoroughly before you touch your face. Ordinarily, a defense minister will not do a press conference unless it's a very serious matter. We have realized that, like he stated, since last week, certain individuals have been setting an agenda that the government has deployed soldiers to Aflau or to Volta region to prevent people from voting or registering. And that has been upped since 3 days ago, and this morning we saw it going on, the distortions. And it's my duty as a defense minister to let the people of Ghana know what we have been doing, where we are, and where we are going. As you would have heard last year from the Commander-in-Chief and the President of the Republic, Nana Akufo-Addo, he ordered deployment of Ghanaian troops to the northern borders under an operation codenamed Operation Conquered Fist. It was not just soldiers, there were peace people, there were immigration people, and GRA. This deployment happened on 21st February 2019. 21st February 2019. That is when the first set of deployments along our borders happened under the code Operation Conquered Fist. Under Operation Conquered Fist, these towns were covered. Bolgatanga, Boku, Tumu, Hamili, Wa, Chiripone, Saboba, Tatale, Bole, Sola, Zila, Paga, Pusiga, Bunkrugu, Golu, Laura, Dorimon, Wichao, Nadoli, and Lakula. These operations were mainly in northern region, northeast region, upper west and upper east, as well as Savannah, across like this. If you realize from the names I mentioned, Bolgatanga is in upper east, Boku is in upper east, Tumu is in upper west, Hamili is in upper west, Pa is in upper west, Chiripone is in northeast, Saboba is in northern region, Satali is in northern region, Bole is in Savannah region, Sola is in Savannah region, Zibila is in upper east region, Paga is in upper east region, Pusuga is in upper east region, Bungo is in northeast region, Golu is in upper west region, Laura is in upper west region, Wicho is in upper west region, Domrimon is in upper west region, Nadoli is in upper west region, and Lakula is in upper west region. So we deployed soldiers, 12 officers, 372 men from the 21st of February 2019. Yes, 12 officers, 372 men. For police, we deployed 12 officers, 4 police officers, 265 men for police. Ghana Immigration Service, we deployed 172 members of the Ghana Immigration Service. For GRA, we deployed 70. So since February 21st, 2019, up till now, this number of soldiers, police, immigration service personnel, and GRA have been stationed at these border towns. Then came COVID, almighty COVID. This year, 2020. As part of the measures the president took, he declared a lockdown. If you realize, management of our borders is in the remit of Ministry of Interior, especially with Ghana Immigration Service. So they were tasked to prevent people from coming in or going out in Ghana when the president closed our borders. Togo closed their borders before us. Ivory Coast closed their borders before us. And when we finally closed the borders, Immigration Service deployed a number of men to the crossing points. We have 53 recognized crossing points, over 250 unrecognized crossing points, what we call routes that people used. So you don't have immigration officers sitting in over 250 of these routes. In fact, if you want to add a pass, there are over 500 places where people pass with no immigration officer. It was a surprise that during the lockdown, immigration reported that they arrested over 5,000 people who either crossed the border or attempted to cross the border. If you have a disease like COVID, ravaging the whole country, and our numbers going up, and as you all know, Ghana has tested over 280,000 people within our borders. Ghana has tested less than 50,000. Ivory Coast is the same, Burkina same. And you would all have been aware that when we arrest 30 people, about a third of them turn out to be positive. So when the number went up, those trying to cross went up, we decided that we must send other security forces to aid the Ghana Immigration Service to make sure that our borders remain closed and that nobody comes in and nobody goes out. So, ladies and gentlemen, on the 30th of March 2020, this year, and 20th of April 2020, we further added soldiers as well as policemen to support Ghana Immigration Service to ensure that the lockdown rules are respected and the closure of our border respected. So that's the second date. The first date was 21st of February 2019. The second date was on 30th of March and 20th of April 2020. We also realized that within the period of the lockdown, when we deployed the security forces, particularly to Accra, Kumasi, and Tema General area, the crime rate went down, essentially. In fact, if you ask towns like Boku, Tumu, Hamili, Wa, all the areas where we have deployed soldiers, crime rate has gone down drastically. But when the lockdown was lifted and we withdrew the security forces, crime wave started going up, particularly armed robbery. So we decided in a National Security Council meeting to bring back calm life in an enhanced manner. So we call it Operation Enhanced Calm Life. So if you realize within Accra, and especially the main towns of Ghana, you will see more presence of soldiers and police on our streets within. And anybody can look at it. That's based on what we call Operation Enhanced Calm Life. In the same vein, we took the decision that more people started crossing into this country after the lockdown was over, especially with the so many unapproved routes. So the police and the soldiers should go and support Ghana Immigration Service to ensure that people who are from the outside, that is Togo, Ivory Coast, and Burkina, do not come into the country to bring experts. Because we are not there, we don't know what they are doing. What we are concerned is to ensure that our people are safe. It is the duty of the Ministry of Defense to ensure that you, the people of Ghana, are safe. And whatever we will do to ensure that the people of Ghana are safe, we'll do it. So on the 18th and 19th of June, the Ministry of Defense started deploying soldiers to support Ghana Immigration Service to close all the loopholes within our border towns. 18th and 19th of June, we asked the operatives, who are the soldiers, and the police, and the GIS, Ghana Immigration Service, and of course GRA, to deploy to aid Ghana Immigration Service, who are the lead agency, to close up all the unapproved routes so that people come into this country and give us problems. Our borders are closed, and that must be respected. If you are a Ghanaian and you are in Togo or Ivory Coast or Benin or Burkina Faso, you want to come inside, the protocol is very clear. You go to the embassy, register, come in, quarantine yourself for 14 days, and then you can let go. But we will not, and let me repeat, we will not allow people to use unapproved routes and come into this country without quarantining themselves. because they may possibly carry the disease. So that's exactly what we have done. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll go town by town, region by region, and give you exact numbers. And that's why I get disappointed when people want to make it an ethnic agenda. Particularly people who are members of parliament. They should have just found out the information instead of trying to let it look like government is deployed only in Volta region, particularly Aflao. That is not true. So let me begin from the top of the north. The government of Ghana has deployed in Upper East 8 officers of the Ghana Armed Forces and 199 men. Up East. We've deployed in 8 locations. And these locations in Upper East are Somfusi. There's a border town called Somfusi. Song is like a son, S-O-N, your son, Somfusi. We have deployed 1 officer and 20 men. That is the order given the armed forces, that they should deploy 1 officer and 20 men to Somfusi. Wuriyonga, there's a town called Wuriyonga. We have asked that, and they've deployed 1 officer and 20 men to Wuriyonga. Congo, if you know Upper East, there is a town called Congo. We have deployed 1 officer and 20 men to Congo. Prumakro is a border town around Tua, on top of Boku. In that town, we have deployed 1 officer and 20 men. When I say men, soldiers, the other ranks. Garu, we have deployed no officer, but 12 soldiers, 12 men. Boku, and the numbers are important, take note of numbers. Boku, 1 officer, 45 men to Boku town. Boku, 1 officer, 45 men. Boga, 2 officers, 45 men. Paga, 1 officer, 17 men. So in Upper East, there are 8 crossing points, 8 towns, and we have deployed 8 officers and 199 men. Upper East. Now I am coming down towards the south. The next region after Upper East is Northeast region. If you are coming to the eastern border. Northeast, we have deployed 3 officers. 3 officers and 99 men. And where are these 3 officers and 99 men? There's a town in Chirponi district called Yogu. Yao and Outgu, G-U. Yogu, 1 officer, 20 men we have deployed. Nambiri and Yogu is inhabited by Konkombes and Chakoses. Nambiri is inhabited by Konkombes and Chakoses. We have deployed 1 officer, 20 men. Burugu is inhabited by the Bunkrugu area is inhabited by anyway, no officer, 50 men, but they are called Bimobas. Dishmoba, Bimobas. We have some in Togo, we have some in Ghana. And they are called Bimobas. So we've deployed no officer, but 50 men. Then Chirponi. Chirponi is Chakoses and Konkombes. We have deployed 1 officer and 44 men. So in Upper East, Northeast region, we have deployed 3 officers and 44 men of the Ghana Armed Forces. Men are soldiers, those the fighting force. Now the next region, if you come down south, is northern region, where I come from. I kept using the tribe because I'm a Konkom myself. And you see the entire northeast is basically Konkom, Bachak, that kind of stuff. In northern region, there's a called Palpa, K-P-A-L-K-P-A. Palpa. They are mostly Kombes and a few fishermen who are from the every tribe. We have 1 officer, 20 men in Palpa. Sheni is mostly Baris. We have 1 officer, 20 men. It's a border town. Napali is Konkombes and Gombes. We have 1 officer, 20 men. Saboba is purely Kombes. We have 1 officer, 23 men. And Tali is Konkomba and Basari, but mostly Basari. We have 1 officer, 22 men. So for northern region, we have 5 officers, 105 men. In 5 locations, 5 officers, 105 men in north region. Now I come down to the next line, which is as we down south, OT region. In OT region, we have deployed in 6 locations. The first one is Tinjasi. Tinjasi are Konkombes. My tribe, Konkombes, Tinjasi. We have deployed 1 officer, 15 men. 1 officer, 15 men. Nabu are Konkombes. We have deployed no officer, 10 men. Minusu, they are Kan. We have 1 officer, 15 men. Ahumasu Pillar 3 is the next place we deployed. No officer, 10 men. K-U-E, Q. Eh? We have no officer, 10 men, all in OT. And Dadieli, no officer, 10 men. So in OT region, we have deployed 2 officers and 70 men in 6 locations. 2 officers, 70 men in OT. Let me come down to this one, Volta region. That's the last region if you take the eastern side. In Volta region, we deployed 3 officers and 95 men. 3 officers, 95 men. First one, Aflao, which is the base. Aflao has 1 officer, 15 men, 15. 1 officer, 50 men, 15. That's what we deployed on the 8th and 9th. 1 officer, let me repeat, 1 officer, 15 men, 15. Akanu, no officer, 0 officer, no officer, 10 men. Shia is S-H-I-A. No officer, 10 men. Nyovi is N-Y-I-V-E. N-Y-I-V-E, Nyovi. 1 officer, 15 men. 15 men. Hunuta, H-O-N-U-T-A, Hunuta. No officer, 10 men. Le Klebi Dafo. L-E-K-L-E-B-I. Le Klebi, then Dafo. No officer, 10 men. We Afegame, we start with WLI. We Afegame. One officer, 15 men. Then Lipe Baglo, no officer, 10 men. So for Volta region, we have 3 officers, 95 soldiers. Volta region, let me repeat, 3 officers, 95 soldiers. Oti region, 2 officers, 70 soldiers. Non-region, 5 officers, 105 soldiers. Northeast, 3 officers, 99 soldiers. East, 8 officers, 199 soldiers. Upper West, so that is the eastern side. Upper West, we have 3 operational areas: Wa, Tumu, Hamili. In Wa, we have 1 officer, 15 soldiers. Tumu, 1 officer, 35 soldiers. And Hamili, 2 officers, 15 soldiers. So for Upper West, we have 4 officers, 65 soldiers. I am coming down south again. I started from the western side. Savannah, Damango, and Bole. Together we have 2 places of operation, Damango and Bole. We have no officer, 21 men. That is Savannah. No officer, 21 men. Bono region, in summer we have 8 soldiers. Gonokroma, 4 soldiers. In Krankwa we have 4 soldiers. Kofi Badu we have 4 soldiers. And the original Operation Conquer is 44 soldiers. So 8 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 44 gives you Bono region. Western region, which is the last region, Elubu has 1 officer, 7 men. Half Asini, which is in Jomoro district, has no officer, 6 men. And so we have 1 officer, 30 men. Jama North, German South, Doma Center and Doma West have requested for soldiers. So tomorrow I'm going to get the operation to send them as well to those places, because people have started looking at areas that were covered and want to cross. Ladies and gentlemen, I am giving you this statistics for you to know there is no agenda against a particular tribe. But if you add the numbers, the Konkombes, which are my tribe, have more soldiers stationed in their place than any other tribe in Ghana. I have an agenda against my own tribe. And like I said, if you go to Northeast, Konkombes are in Yogu, Ambiri, Chiriponi. In Northern region, Baokpa, Sheni, Napali, Saboba, Tatali, Inoti, Tinjasi, Nabu, Konkombes are there. They are the majority tribes. In fact, almost 80% in each place, except Chiriponi and a few areas. There's no agenda of the government of Ghana against any particular tribe. I want to urge people who are going on that tangent to drop it. They're in Ghana. It doesn't help us. Volta region, when we want to rank the eastern side, we will go first. The first region on the eastern side, where Volta region is up east. 8 plus 199 soldiers. That's 207 soldiers. in Upper East. The next biggest is Northern Region. 5 officers, 105 soldiers. That is 110 members of the Ghana Armed Forces are in Northern Region. Next place is in Northeast. 99 plus 3, 102 soldiers. Before you then come to Volta Region, which is plus 95, 98 soldiers. Then you come to T, which is the last one, it's 2 plus 70, 72 soldiers. So I want to let the chiefs and people of the Volta region know that the information the NDC minority President John Mahama is feeding them is pure propaganda. It should be ignored. It's pure mischief. It's pure propaganda. We have deployed across the entire country, and the purpose is to aid and support the Ghana Immigration Service to stop people from crossing, because we have too many unapproved routes. And COVID, the numbers are getting higher and higher and higher. And we will not, and let me repeat, sit aloof and allow our people to die because people are crossing into our country. If people have any reason, whether NDC, MPP, CPP, or any other party has any reason and have the intention of bringing in anybody for whatever purpose, the protocol is very clear. Bring them in through the approved channels, let them quarantine themselves for 14 days, and then they can do whatever they want to do. But for the people of Ghana, they are concerned about their health. It's my duty to make sure that the people of Ghana are safe. And at this particular time, we are all in danger. So you will have seen the deployments we have done across the whole country. And for anybody to suggest that we just deploy it only to Aflao or Volta region is misplaced. It's misinformation. And the person is just seeking for mischief. The people of Volta region, particularly chiefs and people, will register and register well. The people of Ghana will register and register well. The soldiers are not coming to any polling station. The soldiers will be at the border to stop people from coming in or going out across the whole border. Volta region, Oti region, Northern region, Northeast region, Upper East, Upper West, Bono region, Western North, Western region, and Savannah. These are the regions that borders. And the soldiers are to help the immigration stop anybody from crossing into Ghana or leaving Ghana, because our borders are locked to human traffic. What we will accept is cargo, but for human traffic, we will not accept. If you want to bring any human, go to the Ghana embassy, register, and that person will come in and spend his time at his own cost, a quarantine period of 14 days. And once we are okay that the person is not COVID patient, is not positive, that person can go. But to think that a responsible government, when the numbers are going up, will sit and fold our hands, allow people just to come in because a particular party wants people to come in, that one will not happen. Soldiers, as I said, are not going to any polling station. On that day, take your Ghana card or take 2 guarantors and go to the polling station, and you will register if you are a Ghanaian. If you are not a Ghanaian, you have no business to go there. But if you are a Ghanaian, you will register and nobody will be allowed to stop you. There is a legal basis for stopping people from registering. And the soldiers are not part of that legal basis. They are at the borders and will remain at the borders to ensure that people do not go out and do not come in. I thank you very much.
Honourable Minister, thank you for that detailed explanation. We will be taking your questions shortly. I'll just make a few remarks and then we'll take your questions. And as the Honourable Minister was going through the details I was getting from some of your own colleagues that are we not giving out too much information? But it is important that this detail is put, because it is in the absence of this very clear detail that some persons succeed in leading all of us to believe that a huge military deployment has been done at Aflao with the objective of stopping people from registering or something associated with that one. It is important for the Honorable Minister to go through this from Upper East, Northeast, North, Oti, Volta, Upper West, Savannah, Bono, Western, and even give you the numbers. Your colleagues are out there on the ground, they can check. Earlier today, press briefing by our colleagues in the NDC, Sam Okujetua Blackwell of the NDC says the deployments that have been going on did not include the military. You are finding out that that is all probably false. The Honorable Minister is giving you way back when the deployment started, how many men, how many officers from the beginning. So it is not true. Again, he makes the claim that there was no deployment on the western frontiers. That again, as you are realizing, is not true. But those stories are told just so that they can succeed in convincing some group of persons that it is something, and I want to use the words the former president Mahama used, it is something with an ethno-tribal agenda and something against Ewes. As you are beginning to realize, there's no truth in that. As we head for the registration and electioneering period of 2020, the Akufo-Addo administration, for the avoidance of doubt, is not interested in ethnic bigotry or ethnocentric politics. We will continue to urge all political actors to focus on campaigns and conversations that outline how they intend to improve the economy, create jobs, ensure more and more people get incomes and a better quality of life. We strongly, strongly discourage any political group that thinks that it is good to seek to energize its base by whipping up a sense of an attack on any specific ethnic group. We strongly discourage any political group from doing so. And as the Honorable Minister mentioned, if it comes to matters of registration and election, the laws are clear, and we all even encourage every Ghanaian to go out there with your Ghana card or your passport or your 2 guarantors and go and register. The Honorable Minister will take your questions now. May I ask for the microphone to be set up? And if you have questions, I'll take the first 4. If you have questions, you step up, you ask your questions, and then he will do well to answer them. Are there any questions? Yes, sir. Please step forward. Any other takers? 2, 3. Yes, sir. I'll take a final question for this first batch. Any other questioner for this first batch? Can you assist him? Yes.
Okay, thank you. My name is Atamisa from Ghana News Agency. I want to find out how long will these troops be at the borders? Then 2, what about sea? Because recently I learned a Ghanaian flagship was hijacked. And so do you have any plans of deploying people, soldiers to guard our sea for us? Then the president of the Aflao Traditional Council alleged that some of the soldiers have been going in house to house, searching homes and brutalizing civilians. How true is it? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Jenny, you have reporters in Aflao, correct? You have reporters in Aflao, right? Yeah. So I'm sure they can also do some validation for us. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. My name is Anna Seidu. I report for CTFM and CTV. My first question has to do with an ad that was put out by the Ghana Armed Forces themselves, advertising exercise Eagle Claws.
Eagle Claws?
Yes, which was supposed to happen in the Upper West and Upper East region. It happened for like a week or 2.
Yeah.
No mention of it was done. It wasn't, there was no mention of it.
Is that an exercise or a deployment?
It was an exercise that led to deployment to the Upper West and the Upper East region.
Okay.
Military men were there.
Okay.
Secondly, You talk about the chiefs from the Volta region, their statement, the one from the former President Mahama, but you didn't talk about the concerns that were raised by former President Jerry John Rawlings. He raised some issues in statement. What will be the minister's reaction?
Any specific issue you want us to respond to?
Almost all the issues that he raised in his statement.
For example, so that we are quite clear which one?
I believe you've read the statement. He has raised issues that are in the statement. If the minister would like to pick and choose some, that's fine. But I would like him to react to the statement into
Very well. Very
Thank
well.
you.
Very well.
Finally, some of the towns mentioned, let me be specific. For instance, Wa. I don't know any border, that any Ghana, Burkina Faso, any other border town that's in Wa itself that we have deployment there. Thank you.
As in WA specifically?
WA specifically.
Okay, so Minister, we'll bring WA as well. Thanks. Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is John Awuni. I represent Kesbin. I just want some clarity. Before this operation were carried out, did they sensitize the traditional rulers in that area, i.e., this is what we are going to do, at least combat the COVID? And again, my question was partially asked though, but I just retrieve that post-COVID, are these soldiers going to be there, or after COVID they will get back to the
So it
barracks?
fits into the first question of how long will this COVID-related deployment last?
Exactly. Thank you.
Was there? I thought we had 4. Honorable Minister, how will they be there? How about the sea? There are reports that some of them are searching homes. Is that part of their mandate? Has it been validated in any way? Anas is about Eagle Claws in Upper West and Upper East, right? Which you haven't made mention of. He's asking whether there's any part of former President Rawlings' statement you want to respond to. And then he wants some explanation on the WA specific, because WA is not a border town. So why WA specific? And then John is asking whether or not there was sensitization of traditional rulers.
Thank you very much. First of all, enhance calm life. We've given the resources for 3 months. As for first 3 months, we have done that. In fact, we are preparing for the second 3 months to give them, because we want to ensure that we stop crime. So the enhanced calm life across the whole country is 3 months. We have given them resources as part of it. The borders, I told you the primary reason is to ensure that people don't come in or don't go out. As we say today, the president has closed the borders until 31st of July. If the president opens the borders, or the government opens the borders, why would the soldiers be there? We are preventing people from coming into our country so that Ghanaians are safe from this deadly COVID disease. Because the unapproved rules are so many that Ghana immigration system alone is unable to do it. As we keep resourcing them and then getting more men into their service. So we asked the police, the military, the GRA, and the BNI to assist them. And so they are there. Once the borders are extended, their stay will be extended. For Marine, if you watch the Marine news well, we have deployed more boats than we have. And in collaboration with Marine Police, we have deployed a lot of boats to the eastern and the western frontiers of our country. The eastern is Aflao area and the western is Elubu area. That is the reason why the president cut short for the construction of a forward operating base, which is over a big Ghana city at Inzulizu as part of it. So we have tightened the news around the marine environment as well. So it is not just the land borders, the marine borders too, we have done same. As for the searching of home, that is not the mandate of the soldiers. So I will investigate that report that they have said. There is. So I'm not able to say that it's not true or it's a lie. No, they are chiefs. So I will investigate. That's not their mandate.